Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to SEX Biz. Those of you who are on Facebook, uh, welcome to another day again for answering any kind of lovely questions that you have around your business. And if you what's happening. Hi, thank you for joining here. Thanks for being here. I almost was like, oh, am I gonna make it this Saturday? Because I am slightly a little bit hungover. I went out last night, had a comedy show, and fun, and I had a blast, and yeah, it was a really good time. Needless to say, I'm trying to get hydrated again so I can go on with the rest of my day. But I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for joining me. And if you don't know, I am Marla Renee. Of course, I run the Biz Successful coaching, business coaching program. And I started this last year because I really wanted to help other entrepreneurs in our industry to be successful, to get six figures, to, we oftentimes have these myths in our heads about like what about scale. I'm just here to tell you that it doesn't have to be like that. So with that said, I came up with the program, and it takes you step by step from literally like how to file your LLC to, achieving success and all the things that you need to do in between to make that happen for yourself. So if you have not joined the Successful official program yet, please make sure you check it out. You can go to qrco.de/sexbiz, and you can check it out for yourself. So there's 4 live calls every month, as well as half price coaching. If you get the upgrade, you get a free coaching session per month. So make sure you take advantage of that, and ask me questions. And if you have any in between there, I those. Now, if you have not submitted your question, or you're like, Marlo, I don't know what to say, or, any kind of questions about your business, I am here. So you can go to qrco.de/SSAMA. Put that in the chat for you all to see there. And now let me put it here on the gram for you all, so you can submit your questions. If you want to do them anonymously, of course, you can always, you can always put your questions in the chat, of course, while we're here. Let me see here, AMA. So you guys will have that, and I will pin it. I learned how to pin a freaking, finally, on Instagram. I've been going live on Instagram for so long, and I finally learned how to pin something. That's like wild. So anyway, I'm here now. So with that said, if you have any questions, please feel free to let's talk about them. Now, when it comes to your business, right, there's all sorts of facets that you need. And I had a colleague kind of talk about, what kinds of, like, what should they do? Should they, file an LLC? Should they do a DBA? So I answered that question last time. Yes, kudos on learning how to pin comments. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But one of the things that you need to have in place is just you've got to have the systems, right? So even if you have the website up, getting your social media handles, getting those those small little details, getting those things up, you've got to do it. And one of the best ways, somebody said to me like, oh, well, how do you get clients and whatnot? And I'm like, well, here's the thing. It takes a while for somebody to come to me to actually want to get help. Sometimes it's instant. So sometimes they find me and they're like, yes, help me, please, right now, which is great. Then there's other times where, they're like, they need to see me. They need to opt into maybe my free class, or they need to, they need to see my newsletters over and over again, or they want to see what I'm doing, or maybe they take like a class, or, you buy a class off the website. Like, they take time to be nurtured. And so if you don't have an email list, that is one of the most important things you need to do. So even if you have a web page, and say you just have your free web page, like you haven't even paid for your, website yet, you do need to promote it, number one. And even if you just have like one page, a one pager, that page should be collecting emails, right? So you should be like, okay, we're on the way to, we're making something happen, and get on the email list, and you'll be the first to know when, things launch, right? So it's really important to make sure you have your email list. That is the most important thing. And the reason I say that is because, us on social media, y'all, it's a little finicky out there. You don't, if you get your posts, if if the AI scrubs you because you said something, or like you maybe you posted something a little, too sexy for the gram, they are, they're quick to delete folks. They're quick to shadow ban you, suppress you, all of those things. So I highly, highly encourage you to get your email list. So you'll always have that email list. You'll always have those emails. And of course, you can do that through your website, or you can do that through like a third party, right? So I have like ConvertKit, which is, been doing well for me, and it's great. And then I think, and then you just nurture the people. You got to nurture the people. So that's how you get clients. And I mean, there's of course other factors too, right? Like being seen, getting on podcasts, getting in the media, all of these different things are really great ways to promote yourself and to nurture your audience. So again, if you don't have that thing, that's one of the most important things you need to do. And it's so funny because this colleague of mine, was like, well, I need to sell a high ticket item or whatever. And I'm like, do you have an email list? Like, who's going to buy from you? Who are you? Like, if people aren't shown who you are, how are they going to invest that amount of money, right? How are they going to invest, thousands of dollars for in you, right? They need to know what you can do. They need to know your background. And the only way to do that is through, nurturing people. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I am here for your questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to submit it either in the chat, or you can go to qrco.de/SEXCESSAMA. So Success AMA. Oh no, someone said I lost my first page because like that. Yes. And when you lose a page, guess what? Most of the time you cannot get that back. And that is like the sucky part, is like, not being able to get that back. Because if you don't, you don't get it back, they kill your handle. And unfortunately that did happen to me with TikTok. right? So I immediately, when TikTok happened, I immediately like, let me go get my handle, did that. But I guess I didn't post anything. And of course I didn't go on on it. And basically for being inactive, they're like, this handle is shut down. And so, yeah. And yeah, when you do that, yes, all your followers are gone. All your followers are gone. So that means you need to like hurry up and get them back again. And I know I've seen on people's pages where they're like, last page deleted at 20K followers, or last page deleted at whatever, however many followers. My child crying, Lord Jesus. So it's one of those things where you do not want to be in that situation. And of course, if you have not gotten my free social media cheat sheet, please make sure you go and do that. Okay. The last thing you want to do is to have all your followers gone. So if you don't want your followers gone, please go and download my free cheat sheet, my social media cheat sheet for us, because this is the way that you are going to be able to streamline your communication online and really just not get deleted. And in that social cheat sheet, it tells you, 5 different ways to not get your page deleted or shadow banned or suppressed, right? That's like the shitty part of the whole situation is like, yeah, if you get deleted, your page gets deleted, then what? Or if your page, you get shadow banned for saying the wrong word, right? So Central Sweet Coaching, you said thanks for great. Glad that you took advantage of it. And if you haven't taken my the social media class, I do it once a month. Make sure you take that class too, because I literally go into a little bit more details about all the different social media channels and like how they function and things that you need to look out for when it comes to your social media. So glad you are taking advantage of that, and just make sure you make sure you get into make sure you go ahead and check it out. For those of you, and I see you got a kink, make sure you already have access to the program, I believe, because you are already in my program. So if you go inside the official program, you'll be able to see that social media class there. So yeah. Good afternoon, Tracy. So Tracy says, do you recommend we use a funnel with a freebie to help build an email list to selling coaching or courses? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when we think about a funnel, right, the funnel is where you have something, or you are nurturing people right into your thing. And so your freebie, your free thing, your lead magnet, whatever you want to call it, you want to be able to have one of those so you can build your email list. So one of the lead magnets, I have many lead magnets. I have a erotic activity bucket list lead magnet. So in order to get my erotic activity bucket list, people have to put in their email, right? I have a kinky erotic activity list, right? So that again is a lead magnet. And I also have my free, art and science of seduction class on my website. So that is also a lead magnet, because people have to put in their email address and they, to be able to download the class. So yes, I highly recommend you have your free thing. And tell me, Tracy, if you're, do you have a free thing already? Do you have your freebie? And if so, like, what is it? And so the reason why you would even want to do the freebie thing is because people want something free. They want to know what you got. They want to know, your knowledge. They want to know like all the things. So you want to be able to give them a taste of what all the things you really know, right? So for instance, with this particular lead magnet, right, the the social media cheat sheet, that's a great way for people that I know, like, hey, you must be in this industry, you must be interested. So download this sheet, and from there, I can nurture you and say, hey, come check out Biz Saturdays, right? Come if you're already in my industry, or if you're already in the program, here's the things that we're going to be doing this week. Join our Facebook group. You can join the public one, but when you join the private one, you get like I give a little tidbit to the public one. And so if you've joined that one, you'll see, oh, Marley gives a little good little hints here. But if you're in my program, you get all of it. You get the down dirty, you get every single, piece of content, that everything that I learn, I'm handing off to you all, right? And I'm constantly learning new things and keeping up with business, especially as it relates to our industry. So it's super, super important that you get nurtured in these things. But one of the ways I think people build up their list is by having Facebook groups, like public groups, and having those conversations in there. And from there you can do all kinds of funnels. So I took a YouTube class, and thank you so much. You freaking love the wanderings. Thank you. And they work too. They buzz too. They actually turn on. Amazing. Etsy. Get them on Etsy. Or you can also get them from I saw them at oh my gosh, they came to SDS last year. They're like a bright green. They're a bright green brand. I can't remember their names. They have all sorts of amazing fun earrings. And I got these earrings that are rope, someone tied up in rope. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, so I have those earrings. If y'all can see that on the gram there. Yeah, a little tied up, really cute. I cannot remember the name right now for the life of me, but I'm sure they'll be at SDS again. But yeah, so anyway, in the funnel, you can create so many different kinds of funnels for people. So right now, for the people that I'm nurturing on my email list, I'm creating funnels for like every product that I have, right? So for instance, I have a cuddle funnel, right? So in this cuddle funnel, I'm sending emails, and in my program, I teach you like, hey, this is how to use a funnel. These are the kinds of emails that are needed for a funnel. And then this is how you get the sell, at the end of your funnel, right? And then from there, you can constantly, if you have something like ConvertKit, you're able to move people into, different funnels as they click on different things, right? So Tracy said, I am thinking about a webinar on extended foreplay and aftercare. Cool. Yeah. Nice. I love that. And in your business, so the webinar, the one thing I want to say, because, when I first started this, right, my webinar was, it was a total of 3 hours long, and you don't want to do that. So I got the feedback from other colleagues that were like, hey, if you shorten it to an hour, we can, get the gist of it. And maybe, we'll want to join your program. But webinars are really great. That first webinar, I think I had almost 200 signups for my free webinar. So I think webinars are really great. They're great lead magnets. Again, you're collecting people's email, you're providing something, you're providing them value. And it's a great way to, nurture them into all the different, products that you might have. So yes, on the webinar. And please let me know when you are thinking about that webinar. And if you ever want test your audience, and if you join my program, I allow you to test your webinar with my audience, right? So I have an email list of 5,000 people. So it's like if however many people show up, that they will. But it's a great way to get more exposure and then practice about how to do your webinar. So something to think about. But yeah, I love that idea of a webinar. Webinars are really great. PDFs, cheat sheets, checklists. Those are all really, really great lead magnets. I also do audio through Aura. And through Aura, like that's a really great lead magnet for me because people, they know the audio, then they're like, oh, what else, what else can I learn from her? And then they come back to my website and get nurtured that way. So, there's lots of different ways. The funnel, the top of the funnel, the wide part of the funnel is just sort of like all the things that you're doing to get people in, right? So for instance, when I did my workshop for Shebop this week, right, I had an audience resource list. And so with my audience resource list, it's like, hey, get the erotic activities bucket list. So that helps me get more emails for my list so people can download those things. So yeah, that's something to think about. You said, ooh, I didn't know that. I need to send you mine. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you are part of my program, I absolutely will share whenever you want to do the webinar, whenever you want to test out an audience. My audience is really fun and willing and open, and they really have a good time. So I, highly suggest, definitely check them out, or check out the program if you're not in it already. I don't know who it is, just as Facebook user. So I'm unsure if you're in my program or not. But if you are, please, email me, take advantage of it. All right, y'all. Does anybody have any more questions? It's interesting that, like, if you're not familiar with funnels, it's a learning curve. You know what I mean? And because it's a learning curve, it is, you want to be able to figure out how to best test your email list and what funnels are working and what's not. Oh, yay. Monica, yay. I am. It's Monica. Yay. Yes, Monica. So yes, and thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're in the program. And yes, if you have a webinar and you want to test your webinar on my people, just let me know date and time. I'll create it on my website and make it happen. Absolutely. Where's a good place to host webinars and to do evergreen webinars? So there's lots of different kinds of software out there. I think Lead Pages has one. And it really just depends on how you want to go about your webinar. But I suggest hosting the webinars yourself. And you can host webinars in any way. Zoom has webinar function for meetings. There's Google, the Google Meet. So you can host your webinar anywhere. It's just a matter of figuring out and then having people sign up for it. So that's not a tricky part at all. You just need to find where you want to do the video. And something like this, I'm using StreamYard. And StreamYard, so when I'm doing, the SCX Biz Saturdays, I'm streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then those of you on my phone on Instagram, right? Now, if I wanted to do Instagram and X, also I could pay an additional, I think it's like $240 a year. So I could just, have a one-stop shop and stream in all 5 of those places at the same time if I wanted to. So that's also something to think about if you want to do a webinar and then have everything in one place. So I have the chat, so I can see my chat from Facebook. I can see my chat from LinkedIn and the chat from YouTube. So it's really, it's a really neat tool. And like I said, the business one is $240 a year. And if you want to upgrade for, the better features and streaming in more places and more storage and all of that, I think it's another $240 a year. So I think it's $480 a year for that service. As far as evergreen, yeah, again, like Lead Pages, there's lots of different platforms to do evergreen funnels. And, those can be, a little, like, it depends on your budget. You know what I mean? But they are not super cheap by any means. And for us, I believe, I'm not sure if Kajabi does evergreen funnels, but Kajabi is sort of like an all-in-one platform that I know a couple of my colleagues use, a few of my colleagues actually use, and they found it helpful because it keeps their email list, it has the funneling, it has the, it has those things. So maybe you want to, what, you can't hear me on Instagram? I hope you can hear me. Everybody else was hearing me. I don't know what happened. It might be my phone. I think something's going on with my phone. But anyway, yeah, I think a just quick Google search for that would be best. I have not gotten into evergreen funnels. I'm not there yet. So I'm unsure of that area, but great question, and I will look it up. I'll get you for next time. Somebody says, I'm thinking of using Riverside for webinars. Okay, and other recordings as well. Okay, so yeah, Tracy, so maybe you want to check out Riverside and think about that for webinars. I've never heard of Riverside. So, I mean, there's a billion trillion platforms. You just have to find like which platform is the right platform for you for what you want to do. So yeah. Everybody's different, and everybody can, everybody kind of, does their own thing. So, okay, good. You can hear me. Great. Good. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. Riverside. I'm not really sure on the evergreen aspect, but, as far as webinars, I've been happy. Most people are familiar with Zoom. So, during the pandemic, Zoom and the stock, went way up. So people knew about Zoom. So, I like to make sure like I do things that are familiar with folks. But not to say you can't do it on any other platform. Like even my background, like I have Wix, and Wix has its own, webinar hosting, you know what I mean? So it really just depends on what your needs are, what you have the capacity for, and if you want to, go with all-in-one platform, or however you want to do it. So great question though. That's a really, really great question about the webinars. And thank you, Monica, for mentioning that. Riverside, I will definitely have to check out Riverside and see what and just check it out. You said, I need to figure out music and Zoom. Sometimes they censor background music. Oh no, when I'm trying to teach a movement or demonstrate a dance routine. So you might need to check the screen. So when you're sharing your screen, or if you go into Zoom, you'll need to click share audio. So when you share your audio with your audience, it's able to stream very well with your audience. So I'm not sure if you're clicking on that, or because sometimes you have to go inside the advanced tab. So when you first open up the share, it goes to like the basic tab. But if you go to the advanced tab and hit share sound, you're able to share your sound, and it should come pretty clear. The only time that I've only seen, I haven't seen Zoom censor, but the only time I've seen music censoring is YouTube. So that's like the only time I've heard that. Like even the music that I have for this, that will automatically be like, hey, this is this song from YouTube, like, trace back. And I get my music from Soundstripe. And I find that's a really good platform if you ever need like different kinds of music. Like I said, I record stuff for Aura Health. And so sometimes I want maybe like a deep state beta music or something like that. So I can download that, and, that's, I don't know, however much a year. But it's really nice if you are a person that is constantly using music. So you may just want to think about music that you can stream without any consequences, right? So they know, so it's like copyright free or whatever, you know what I mean? So that is something you may want to, think about, as far as, getting that done. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, y'all. So if you have questions, please feel free to um, use go to qrco.de/successama. That's SEXCESSAMA. If you have a question, I'm happy to give you a response, or you can put it in the chat at any given point in time. If you have not checked out the Be Successful official program, please make sure you check that out. You can go to qrco.de/sexbiz sign up, and it just takes you to, the all the different things that I offer for my Be Successful coaching program. So please check it out if you haven't. I think it's a great program. I think there's like 16 plus modules, resources. You get a financial template, a marketing template, things to really help you in your business, things that I wish I would have had when I was starting my business. And, I'm really trying to make it easy, easy for people to make this money, because it's out here. You know what I mean? And, hope we're not falling into the trap of that, scarcity mindset. Oh, Monica, thank you so much. So yes, it's a great program so far. Thank you so much. And we're going to be coming out with more stuff soon. So I just recorded my very first podcast episode for the Be Successful podcast. I had the lovely Misha Bonaventura come on. And so I'm so excited. I'm hoping to record about 10 episodes before I release them. If that's a thing, or maybe I should just record them and release them. I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Maybe I should just once I get something, just release it and then, make it happen. But I'm super excited about that because I started, back in 2014, I started my Velvet Lips. I did podcasting for a little bit and, had guests and stuff, but it was kind of difficult. It really was. And from there on, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be a podcaster. I'm just going to be a podcast guest. And that's what I did. I've been over on 100 podcasts. And a lot of people find me from podcasts. And so I really think it's helpful if you have not been on any podcasts, please go on a podcast, check it out, because it's really great way. It's a really great way for people to get into your funnel. You know what I mean? You always have the opportunity to offer some things. So I highly suggest you get on some podcasts. But anyway, I am coming out with that. So super, super excited. And the business summit is coming, y'all. I'm about to launch that soon. I know I'm whispering for no reason, but it's kind of like a secret, but it's kind of not, because it's gonna launch shortly. But I'm hoping that you all will stay tuned and make sure you're on my email list for that summit, because it's going to be amazing. Monica says, I've been told to create my own podcast after being on so many as well. Yeah. So here's the thing, though. I've been told, you should create your own podcast. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with Velvet Lips. I know what it's like. I'm not doing that. It's hard. It's hard. And why I've decided to take it on with this, I think because there's not enough of us. There's not a whole lot of us in our industry who are doing coaching. And so I think it would be a really good way for people for people to understand who we are in this industry and how we're doing it. So yeah. But if you want to go on that, if you want to create your own, go ahead, girl, you do it. It's just a lot of work, and you may want to hire a podcast producer or somebody who can help you with that. So that might be an option for you if you want to do that. So I highly suggest, making that happen. I'm kind of experimenting with doing it myself because I have Camtasia. So I'm like, I know the structure in which I want to do the podcast. But I'm super excited about, releasing that. All right, y'all. Do I have any more questions? Y'all got questions? I got answers. Please let me know before I sign off. Like I said, I'm trying to hydrate. It's been a long night. I think I got back home, y'all, at like 5 a.m. What am I thinking? I was having way too much fun. I was with Renee Burwell and her aunt. It was so much fun. So anyway, and Renee will actually be here for SDX on the beach. So if you have not gotten your ticket for SDX on the beach yet, please make sure you check that out. sexdownsouth.com/sex on the beach. That is going to be amazing. We have Dr. Jess as our keynote speaker. Some really amazing presenters, Paola Rodriguez, Dr. Sarah Sohn, Natalie Hatches, Renee Burwell, and CJ. And so I'm just really excited about this group of people. We have some awesome vendors. For those of you who are on my email list, you probably saw this already. But I purchased this mask on Sunday, and the vendor is also going to be at Sex on the Beach as well. So really cool stuff. Awesome. Well, hey y'all. Oh, thank you. It is pretty, isn't it? It is such a pretty mask. I love it. Love it. So neat. So cute. All right, y'all. Well, it's been a blast. Please make sure you check out the Be Successful official program if you haven't already. Please make sure you get on my email list, download your free social media cheat sheet so you aren't getting kicked off of social media. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And I will see you all next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully I won't be hungover a little bit. Anyway, have a wonderful Saturday, y'all. And I will see you on the other side. All right. Bye.